welcome back to my channel. This is Simply Fabulous Darling. How are you all doing? I am still on vacay, or on my birthday getaway in Savannah. This is our last night. We'll be leaving early in the morning. But I wanted, one of the things I was asked to do when I asked you all what you all would like for me to do is story time. So this is a story time that actually happened yesterday. But I wanted to share this story because I don't want to forget about it. So, me and old Booby Cakes over here went to, what's the name of that island?
Tiny. T-Y-N-E.
Tiny?
Tiny Island.
I thought it was Tybee Island.
Tybee Island, yeah.
Tybee Island.
Mm-hmm.
Which is only like 20 or so minutes from Savannah. So we go out to the beach. I might put a little clip in there, in here. Or, never mind. But, yeah, so went to the island, went to the beach, hung around there for a little while. I decided we were hungry. So we was like, we want Mexican. Excuse me, y'all. So we go to this Mexican restaurant. That wasn't too far from the beach. We get there, we get seated, and you know, as I'm looking around, because I'm a people watcher, both of us are, but his back was turned to pretty much everybody, but I could see everyone. And to the left of us was an older couple. To me, they looked to be late 60s, early 70s. And, you know, I noticed them sitting over there, and I also noticed them. I was thinking to myself, oh, you know, they're an older couple, and they still actually like each other. They're actually sitting next to each other. And, you know, I noticed them chatting it up, giggling, you know. And from first glance, you would think they were a happily married old couple, right? Babe? Would you think that? Okay. So, as we're eating, I hear a large bang, or we do. Bang. So I immediately look to my left to see where the noise was coming from, and I see the older gentleman, like, with a scowl on his face, looking at his wife saying, I know what you did, with his hand still clutched and down on the table. And she looks at him and says, don't get violent. But she said it in such a calm, like, low way. She said, don't get violent. And, you know, I'm looking like, oh. So I look back at Eric, and he was like, what happened? I was like, you know, that's the guy over there. He banged on the table. Then he abruptly gets up from the table and walks towards the exit. And then he turns around. Well, she calls his name because he had called the waitress back to make a dessert order. So she calls him back, calls his name. He turns around and she says, they're about to bring your dessert. She said she is talking to him in the most calm, respectful way. He turns around, throws up, and he does his hands like this. I don't want it. He walks out the door. So she's sitting there, and I look over at her like, she says, don't worry. It's okay. He has dementia. But I didn't buy that. I didn't buy it then. So the waitress comes out. She brings the desserts. He comes back in. And I'm thinking he's about to sit down to, you know, maybe he went out to calm down and come back in. But see, I noticed him sit down. So I just thought, you know, I wasn't really watching him. And then I noticed him get back up and come stand, because the exit is behind Eric. And he's standing there. And he looks back over there at her. And he says, he said, catch a cab home. Does his little finger slip again. And he walks out the door. And I'm thinking to myself, surely this man is not about to leave this woman, his wife, that I'm sure they've been married for 50 freaking years. He's not going to leave her in this restaurant. But, oh, yes, he did. Because Eric can see him walk across the parking lot. But when she finally got up, packed her stuff, she went out the exit too. Probably like 10 minutes after he had walked out. So she's actually standing behind us at a table, you know, with her phone out. And I look back and said, I know this man didn't leave this lady. I know he didn't. I was instantly heated. I wanted to beat the living snot out of that old man. Like, that's just a prime example of how women, not all just women, men, people in general, put up with people, their bad behavior, and they never change. They are who they are. He's probably been abusive to this lady, probably their whole marriage. I'm going to say yes. And she's put up with it. But I really want to do something really bad to him. So I asked Eric, I said, if she lets us, will you be okay with taking her home? He was like, yeah, I'll take her home. So we get up, we finish our meal, we get up, go outside, and I walk up to her. I said, we can take you home if you need a ride home. And she was like, oh no, I've already called a car. They're on their way. And I said, oh, okay. And she says, have y'all tried their fish? She changed the subject. The thing about that is people that are in abusive situations or being abused, they try to do everything they can to get the attention off of what is really going on. Even when he was acting the fool, she was asking me she was telling me it's okay. But you're the one in danger. But no, she asked us about have we been there before. You know, she struck up a little conversation. Appears to be a really sweet lady. But I said all that to say this. If you are miserable, and especially if you've been abused, whether it is physically or mental or verbal, run. Because the thing about those type of people, they're never going to change. They are who they are. They're going to continue to do everything they've been doing to you if you let them. So, get out, girls and boys. Run. But yeah, that really pissed me off. I want to do something to that old man. I really did. I wish he would have let us take her home so I could have popped him upside his head. I didn't want to hurt him, but I want to do something to him because he's been getting away with freaking murder, I can tell, the way he acted. For a man, a grown freaking man, to act that way in public, when you would chastise and pop your child if they behave that way, he needed to be popped. I'm not his mama, but I was going to give him a popping. Okay? So, that completes my story time today, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for, I still have to do what's in my bag video. I'm going to do it. Also, some of my favorite things, going to do that. And some dating after divorce tips, girls and boys. I do have some. Because I caught a mine. Ah! So, again, y'all, stay tuned. I'll be posting more videos. Smooches.